Hello again and welcome to another Warhammer 40k 8th edition reveal video. Today we will be looking at vehicles. This is obviously quite an important one for the Imperial Guard because we have loads of vehicles, all the way from the light vehicles such as Sentinels and Tauroxes up to really sort of strong, tough vehicles like Leman Russes and everything in between like Chimeras and Hellhounds. So straight away, let's just get down to it. Games Workshop confirm again that we're all going to be using the same stat line now. So you know, there's no such thing as armor values. It's all sort of strength and toughness and wounds. Okay, so the example they give is the Annihilation Badge, which is what we can assume to be a sort of medium level tank and a skimmer. So the stats that they give are Annihilation Badge, Movement 12, Weapon Skill 6+, Ballistic Skill 3+, Strength 5, Toughness 6, Wounds 8, Attacks 3, Leadership 10, Save 4+. So wow, that's really different. But the number one thing that you guys should be saying is Weapon Skill. That's right, guys. All vehicles can now fight in close combat. That literally represents them just going fucking flooring it and smashing into enemy units. So that's pretty crazy. But before we get into the real meat and potatoes of that, let's just have a look at what that means for the Guard, right? So last video we looked at Dark Elder and we was told that Dark Elder are going to be blisteringly fast. The Annihilation Badge, which is Necron, is considered to be a fairly slow skimmer, and that's able to move 12 inches. So just thinking to other skimmers such as, you know, Raiders and maybe Wave Serpents and other fast skimmers, they could be moving well above 12 inches. So what does this mean? Well, it means that vehicles are going to be really fast again, guys. Currently, most Imperial Guard vehicles only really move 6 inches a turn. Well, Leman Russes can only move 6 inches a turn, and Chimeras tend to only move 6 inches, simply because moving any further just cripples your firepower. Now, if you move, you just get -1 to hit, so you go down to Orc shooting as an Imperial Guardsman. So what that means is if we're looking at Annihilation Badge, which is a fairly normal vehicle in terms of, you know, sort of traditionally in terms of speed and whatever, if that's able to move 12, that could be the new sort of standard for vehicle movement. Maybe the Annihilation Badge is a skimmer, so you know it can move a little bit faster, but I honestly think now that movement 10 will be like the minimum movement. I think we'll see Chimeras with you know, movement 10 or 12. I think our infantry is going to be movement 4 or 5. It's going to be really slow. But I think Chimeras, which are our baseline sort of vehicle, I think they'll be moving 10 or 12 inches. And I think fast vehicles like Taurox Primes will be moving maybe 15 or 16 inches. And our sort of slower vehicles like Leman Russes will be moving 8 to 10 inches. That's my guess, guys. Now, interestingly, if we look at the Annihilation Badge, it's only got toughness 6. Now, the Annihilation Badge, without its quantum shielding, is actually fairly weak. I believe it's only armor 11 all round. If we can, you know, if we can take a sort of infer what the Chimera is going to be like, I reckon the Chimera is going to be toughness 6, guys. Because it's got that good front armor, but it tends to be let down by its weak side and rear armor. Now, averaged out, I think that's going to mean that Chimeras are going to be toughness 6. And if you look at Dreadnought, which is toughness 7, and that's armor 12, 12, 10, well, guess what Imperial Guard vehicles are currently armor 12, 12, 10? Hellhounds. So I think Hellhounds are going to be toughness 7. Chimeras and Sentinels and other Chimera chassis vehicles, they're going to be toughness 6. I think Scout Sentinels will be toughness 5. So there you go, guys. That's my guess. So I'm guessing that really light vehicles like Land Speeders and Sentinels, Scout Sentinels are going to be toughness 5. I think medium vehicles are going to be toughness low to medium vehicles, transports, rhinos, razorbacks, chimeras. I think they're going to be toughness 7, and then I think that medium vehicles toughness 6. Sorry, and I think medium vehicles are going to be toughness 7, and then the Leman Russ being a heavy vehicle is going to be toughness 8. Because the Gorkanaut was only toughness 8, and the Imperial Knights are toughness 8, so I think it makes sense that other vehicles are toughness 5, 6, and 7. I also think, sorry, looking at the save of the vehicle, if the Leman Russ has got a 4+ save, I think, if the Leman Russ has got a 3+ save and the Annihilation Barge has got a 4+ save, I'm assuming Guardsmen have got a 5+ save. I think that's going to mean that tanks, like the Chimera and the Hellhound and the Sentinel, they're going to have a 4+ save. I can't imagine them giving a tank a worse or equivalent save to flak armor, unless flak armor has gone down to 6 up, guys. I think it would make maybe more sense if you had flak armor at 6+, and then maybe Orcs wouldn't get a save, so you'd have flak armor at 6+, carapace at a 4+, scout sentinel at 5+. Sorry, scout sentinels at a 5+, and then chimeras and hellhounds being on a 4+, because the Leman Russ is a 3+. Maybe. Either that, guys, or most vehicles are going to be toughness 7 or 8, but the number of most vehicles are going to be toughness 5, 6, 7, or 8, and they're going to have a save of 4+ or better, but most of them will be based on wounds. So I think they might do it that way, where it might be, you know, chimeras and hellhounds and basilisks. They're all toughness 6 and 7, but they'll vary on the number of wounds they've got to represent how fragile they are. You know, that's what I think could be the case. Anyway, let's not bimble on. So this just to summarise, this Annihilation Barge reveal is quite interesting. I think it means we're going to have vehicles which are going to be quite fast again, because 6 and 7 I've had vehicles which are pretty slow. I think we're going to have vehicles which are genuinely going to be pretty speedy again. I think vehicles will be relatively tough with an average save, but with a pretty decent amount of wounds. Right, let's get back down to what you guys are probably really excited about, which is close combat with vehicles. That's right, you can now just slam your vehicles into combat. Most of the time they'll be hitting on a 5 or 6, because, well, to be honest, if you see a vehicle come barreling towards you, you're probably going to dive out the way, but there's, you know, a decent chance you won't quite make it and you'll get run over. So I don't mind that. 5 or 6 to hit is kind of good, because otherwise, if you had vehicles hitting, you know, really easily in close combat, it would kind of be silly to have just everyone getting run over, Grand Theft Auto style. So most of the time you're going to be hitting on 5 and 6s, but they specifically give a bit of love to the Orcs here, and they say Orcs will have a load of upgrade options that will make their vehicles quite good in close combat. So, for example, they say if you get hit by a death roller, prepare to be a pancake, prepare to be flattened, prepare to be absolutely just squashed. Vehicles will be subjected to the new -1 to hit with heavy weapons if they move. So we already assumed that, but they've confirmed that here. And they've said vehicles can charge, which replaces tank shock. So you can't... Hang on. So you can't tank shock anymore, but any vehicle can do it. Any vehicle can charge. So this leads to some really, really interesting possibilities of... I'm not sure how it would work, but you could charge your vehicle. Let's say you've got a raider full of witches. You could charge your raider into a unit and then get out and charge with the witches as well. Like, I'm not sure how it'll work, but that's pretty insane. Or you could have a chimera full of ogrins, and you could charge with the chimera, and then the ogrins barrel out as well and start beating the crap out of people. Maybe. The number one thing you want to take from this, though, guys, is that you really want to be using your vehicles to eat the Overwatch. Okay, what you want to do, if you're going to assault someone, let's say you've got a unit of veterans with shotguns and carapace armor, what you want to do is you want to charge the you want to disembark them, charge the Chimera in first. The Chimera will eat the Overwatch, more than likely survive, then charge your veterans in. That's how you're going to want to do it. Vehicles are going to be there to absorb the Overwatch. So, let's wrap this up. It's a pretty short article. Overall, we get a good idea of how your medium level vehicles are going to function. Most vehicles, it looks like, won't be subjected to the if you lose half your wounds you start getting crap rules. I think most vehicles will be absolutely fine functioning on 1 wound. It's only going to be bigger ones like Lehman Russes and stuff which are going to start suffering. Okay? So that's number 1. Number 2, it looks like vehicles are going to be pretty fast again, but are actually going to have relatively crap armor saves, but are going to have a lot of wounds to try and make up for that. Don't know how I feel about that, to be honest. It kind of makes me feel like most vehicles are going to be really, really vulnerable to small arms fire, which is kind of stupid because the whole point of like an APC or an IFV is to protect your guys from small arms fire. So, I don't know. Seems a bit silly, but whatever. I will adapt. Chimera spam will probably still be a thing. Yeah, you're going to need a lot of chimeras is all I'm going to say. Vehicles can now fight in close combat. Be careful of people just throwing vehicles into you now. I mean, I think orc buggy spam is going to become a nightmare. I just think it's going to become an absolute nightmare. Why are orcs going to bother shooting with their buggies? I mean, think about it. They're going if they move with a buggy, they're going to be hitting on a 6+. So they might as well just slam that buggy straight forward, probably 18 inches, and then in the assault phase, charge you with it. I think buggy, I'm going to call it buggy bash. That's my nickname for it. Demolition Derby. I think it's, or NASCAR. Think of a nickname. Think of a nickname for orc buggy spam. Mine is buggy bash. The buggy bash tactic, where you just get a bunch of buggies and you bash them into your opponent. Could call it NASCAR or orc car, whatever you want to call it. Gorka Morka would be a good nickname, but whatever, guys. That's what I want you to do in the comments, guys. Think of a cool name for sort of orc vehicle buggy bash or orc vehicle just spam and crush. Mine is buggy bash. I want to see what you guys think. So thank you guys for watching. Of course, tell me what you think this means for IG vehicles. Overall, I think it means that we're going to be spamming chimeras, and then when dedicated combat units get a bit close to us, we're going to counter-attack with them. It'll be interesting to see what dozer blades do, for sure, and if we still get to use fire barrels. But tell me what you guys think this means for guard vehicles. Overall, I don't know if it's a nerf or a buff. I think it's a balanced approach, because we'll be taking a lot more damage, but hopefully we'll have a lot more wounds. I'm not sure. You guys tell me what you think. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time.